What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? In today's video, we are going to be talking about how you can use vendors in Hypixel Skyblock to actually get rich. Now, me and myself, I actually did this method before I was able to farm a ton of summoning eyes, and I used to sell a ton of super compactors. And let me tell you, it's really boring, but at the same time, it is one of the quickest ways to actually make money, and it generates a ton of profit. Now, I compiled an entire list, which you guys can see in the description down below, of how much something costs to make by using the vendor. And on this list, it actually displays each of the items in the auction house for the lowest that they've gone for and also the highest. Now, keep in mind, I did all this stuff within like a couple of hours, so the lowest is definitely not going to be the lowest and the highest is definitely not going to be the highest. Prices can change by a lot depending on the time specifically, but if you guys want to make the most money, I highly recommend that you guys sell between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, the reason for this is because that's when the most amount of people are currently playing Skyblock. If you look on Skyblock and look at the population, you're going to want it to be at least in the high 20,000s and possibly at least 30,000. If it's low 20,000s, it's most likely later in the day. Also, selling on a weekend is going to be way more beneficial for you than selling on a weekday because a lot more people are playing on the weekends rather than the weekdays. Those are the best times for when stuff will sell for the most, and later in the night is when stuff will sell for the cheapest. So if you guys want to do any auction flippings, you guys definitely want to look 12 hours later, so 12 a.m. when a lot of people are sleeping and there's only probably like 18,000 people online, and then you can get stuff for the lowest because there's a lot less people bidding on those items. Anyway, I'm feeling pretty generous today, so if we're able to hit 20 likes, I'll give away $200,000. If we're able to hit 50 likes, then I'll give away $500K. I don't really think that you guys can hit 500K, but if you guys prove it, then I'll keep going for that goal, and then I'll start to believe in you guys again. Anyway, though, let's go ahead and head to the hub. Now, if you guys do want to win that 500 or 200K, all you guys have to do is hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below with what your in-game name is. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the items that you can craft with the highest profit margins that I've seen by selling these things on the auction house. So the first thing, and one of the best things in my opinion, is hot potato books. Now, to craft one hot potato book, it costs $58,800. And then if we look at auction, right now this one's going for $138,000, $138,000. Oh, somebody really wants these, so they're bidding on a bunch of them, and they're bidding $138 on all of them. This one is 100. Oh, this is because it's Technoblade, but okay, I was about to say that is crazy. But yeah, 150, 138. Let's see the ones that are ending soon. 120, 119, 120. So if you're able to sell yours for 130K, you're actually making $71,000, which is a pretty good profit margin. Also, speaking about hot potato books, they're actually one of the easier items to craft. One of the things that I used to do is sell a ton of super compactors, and super compactors requires a ton, I mean a ton of cobblestone, and for one super compactor it probably is going to take you about 30 minutes to craft all of the cobblestone needed, which that is a pretty long time, I'm not gonna lie. But for one super compactor, the cobblestone alone costs about 215,000, and then you should be able to buy an enchanted redstone block from anywhere from 30k all the way up to 50k. So in the end, the most you should spend on a super compactor should be about 265k, although I would never spend that much crafting it. And then if we look right here, this one's going for 522k, 460, 450, 550, 570. One of mine actually went for over 600k, which that is so rare. You will most likely never find one that goes for that much. I mean, that is a really high price, and it is so hard to get that lucky. But I have also sold some that went for less than 400k, probably in the high 300s, like 370 was hopefully my lowest. I can't really remember off the top of my head. Now, if you are able to sell a super compactor for 500k, you're actually making $234,000, which is a really good profit margin. You're basically doubling how much it costs, which is really good, but at the same time it costs pretty much double the time to actually make rather than hot potato books. So you kind of have to factor in the time and the length that is actually going to take for you to craft the stuff. So you also have to think about that. And also, selling one for 500k is a little rare in my opinion. A lot of the ones that I've sold usually go for 400k and above. Now I'm talking like 470k, 480k, so it is like probably 20,000 off of 500k. Now the next thing is the run-ins bow, and you can actually craft that by using the adventurer merchant. The run-ins bow costs about $614,000 to craft, and completely unenchanted in the auction house it usually sells from 700k to 900k. Let's go ahead and take a look though. So it is a little bit hard to figure out actually how much some of these are going to go for, because the only unenchanted ones are going for 66666 right now. This one's going, that's not bid on. This one's bid on, it's actually 750k, which is still profit. If you are able to fully enchant it, oh boy, that's not looking good. 720. This one's going for a mil. Does it have This one actually doesn't have Dragon Hunter on it, although it does have Rapid, and it is going for 1 mil. So if you do sell it for 1 mil, you're making over 400k profit, which it is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But still, run-ins is one of the better things that you can make profit off of. This is definitely gonna change after the Dungeons update comes out, and these bows aren't the prime or the best bows anymore, so you might want to get your profits in while you possibly can, because once that update comes out, they are gonna go down to nothing. Now, you also have the Haste Ring, which to craft the Haste Ring, it's actually rather cheap, and it only costs 122k. And if you want to sell it, like this one right here is going for 238k, this one's 23k. Oh wow, that's a great deal. You're getting all your money back. Really, these are selling so slowly and there's not a lot of people putting them up, so it might be better for you to actually put it up because not that many people are auctioning this off. Like, there are a ton of super compactors going, so super compactors are going to have a little bit more competition because there's so many people selling them, but the Haste Ring, there's a lot less people selling them. This person did more than double their money by making a Haste Ring, so honestly, this person's going to profit very well. Now, another thing you guys can craft is the Leaping Sword. Now right here, completely unenchanted Leaping Sword's going for 3.8 mil, and it's not even close to ending yet. Let's see, some of these, all these are completely enchanted, so it's kind of hard to tell. But right here is 3.8 mil. Now to craft this, it actually costs 2.9 mil, so this person is already basically making $1 million. This person right here is also making $1 million, and it's far from actually ending. Although it is spicy, so you know, it did definitely cost a little bit more, so you know, I don't know, personally myself, I don't know if exactly I would risk it, but, you know, it's always possible that you do get spicy pretty early on. Right here, this is going for 3.8 mil. This one's going for 3.9 mil. This one's going for 4 mil. This one's going for 3.5, 3.8. That's going for $1 million, but that's because it's 6 hours away. But still, the 3 millions, like close to 4 millions, all these people are making over $1 million. Anyway, I compiled a full list of more items that you guys can actually buy from the vendor, and I also compiled a list of how much they usually go for in the auction house, which you guys can check in the description down below. Hopefully it helps some of you guys out. There's a lot of more items that you can actually craft and sell, but a lot of them are not worth it. Like, these were some of the best ones. And you might be thinking that the profit margins are a little bit low, or it takes a lot of time, or it's really boring. I do agree with you. It is really boring, but at the same time, this is how I got my first aspect of the dragons. One of the things that I sold the most was super compactors, and yes, it's super boring, but I limited myself to crafting about 2 a day because that's how bored I would get. So after 2 a day, I would just kind of stop because it got too boring, but as long as I put in the work to craft 2 a day, I was still making easily $1 million, which was really worth. Anyway though, let me know in the comment section if this did help you guys out. If it did help you guys out, make sure you guys also hit that like button, and if you guys have any questions, leave me a comment down below. Anyway, if you guys are new around here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye!